Alright, this is the first worksheet that we did for this unit, and basically we have to draw the position, velocity, and acceleration graphs in 4 situations. And whenever you have a situation like this, you need to think about 2 things. The first thing is the object moving forwards or backwards? And the other is it speeding up or slowing down? And so this is how we're going to approach all these graphs. So for example, in number 1, I see that I'm starting at 0 and I'm going to 50. That means I'm moving forwards. And I start at the top of the hill and I'm rolling down, so that must mean I'm speeding up. So what that means is that my plot of position versus time is going to look like this. In a similar vein, I'm speeding up, which means that my velocity should start at 0. And I'm going forward, so that means it's getting more and more positive. So I should actually get a graph like that. And the acceleration graph, again, it's very tempting to say because the object is speeding up, that's what makes the acceleration positive, but that's completely wrong. What makes the acceleration positive is that it's trying to make the object move forward. And another way to look at that is that the slope of the velocity graph is positive, therefore the acceleration is positive. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, the object is actually going downhill, and it looks like it's going from 50 centimeters to 0 centimeters, so it's going backwards. So what that means is the graph should look like this. I start off slow, speeding up. That means my velocity starts at rest and goes faster and faster, but going backwards. And finally, the acceleration. One would think, well, because it's going backwards, that's what makes the acceleration negative, and that's actually the correct answer. Not because the object is going backwards, but because the acceleration is trying to make it go backwards. It's encouraging it to go down the hill, which is the negative direction. All right. So, for the third problem, we're now going uphill. And that appears to be the negative direction because we start at 0 and we go to 50 centimeters. So what that means is that going uphill is the positive direction. So this is positive in this direction. And so when we look at it slowing down, it must start off fast, and then its speed's going to level off. The curve should get flatter. In a similar vein, we start off with a positive velocity forward, and we wind up at 0 velocity because we're slowing down. And that means the acceleration is negative because the ball is going forward, but the acceleration wants to take the ball backwards. Finally, for the last graph, it looks like we're going uphill, and that uphill is the negative direction, and that the ball is going backwards. So we need to slow down going backwards. That's a graph like this, with a steep slope here and a flat slope here. Our velocity starts off negative and gets slower and slower. And our acceleration, well, the acceleration is trying to pull the ball in the positive direction, which is downhill. Therefore, we have a positive acceleration graph like this. So this is the video solutions to the first worksheet we did. I will also post this on the website along with the PDF of this solution.